In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was a formless void, and darkness covered the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God hovered over the water. Water Sunday is one of the high holy days of Chestnut Hill United Church in Philadelphia. It's a time when we celebrate the gift of water. This year, we celebrated the water that was poured into the bowl physically as well as symbolically. Some came to the front porch of the church when no one was around to pour in their water and snap a picture. Some left their names in drawing on the porch steps. Some sent in pictures from places across the country where they found rest or refreshment.
Our water this year is from Wildwood, New Jersey. We spent a couple days there just to hang out and refresh. And the other water that Wesley has is from one of our trips to the creek. We spent many weekends finding different watering holes to splash around in.
And some of us, in careful pandemic protocol style, gathered in masked and socially distanced ways to celebrate the gift of this community and put our feet on the holy ground of the churchyard, surrounded by the cloud of witnesses buried in this soil, some going back to the Civil War and beyond. We gathered on land traditionally stewarded by the Lenape-Hoking. Our church, like everything else around us, is here through stolen land and stolen labor. We collect and pour water in remembrance of this past and as prayer that our lives and work may honor these sacred lands and these sacred lives.
So this is for all the people who are struggling and suffering, and we know beyond the hospitals right now there are so many, and I salute them and I love them, and my prayers are for them.
The waters we offered this year come from streams and rivers, from creeks and kitchen taps. There's water from hot tubs and bird baths, from oceans and swimming pools, from garden hoses and housing encampments. People gathered water from places they found rest, connection, sanctuary. There was coming home water, on the pilgrimage water, noticing my privilege water, and Mahalia's I'm giving you a beautiful green fish as a bonus water. It is this water, and maybe even the fish, that we will pour into our beautiful baptismal font to use for this next year.
So this water is just from our kitchen sink. We've been out of town for a year, and it would have been fun to have brought back water from where we had been, but we were not prepared, and it's sort of hard to do that on airplanes.
Yeah.
But this can symbolize our joy coming back to our house and our community, and this water is from a very special place because it's the place that we've come back to.
Like in the creek, and then that creek comes down through Philly, so it kind of connects like my suburban Ambler to Philadelphia, which I think is really cool. And it's also kept that like system of trails has kept me sane throughout the pandemic. So
Amen.
It was a special place.
No element is mentioned more often in Scripture than water. Water for cleansing, water for baptism, for refreshment and life. Water for transition from one stage of life to another. Water for blessing. We claim the water of life, whose rush announces the birth of a baby, the water of life that nourishes seeds and plants and roots deep in the earth.
Very special creek where my parents live, and we spent lots of time there this summer. Sean and I got married by Pine Creek, and it's a very special place to us.
We are entering into the 175th year of this church. We've only been gathering to pour water in this particular way for Water Sunday for the last 20 years. But this congregation and community has been sprinkling and pouring and baptizing and praying and working and discerning and changing for so much longer than that. Blessed is the one, Psalm 1 says, who does not walk in the counsel of the wicked, or stand in the way of sinners, or sit in the seat of mockers. But their delight is in the law of the Lord, and on God's law they meditate day and night. They are like a tree planted by streams of water, which yields its fruit in season, and whose leaf does not wither. Whatever they do prospers. May we be like streams planted by the water, yielding fruit in this season for this world. May this water be just a drop in the bigger bucket that is the life and faithfulness of this church. And may it nurture the seeds that are planted within and among us for 175 years to come.
And I guess I'll move on to the part of the remember your baptism. Okay.